Hello, my tiny home shoppers. Doing another video here on incredible tiny homes. I hadn't paid much attention to them recently, but a couple of things are going on. They're building a little country store to put over on the Spencer County homes, and I don't understand it. They said they have to get some kind of permit to move it, and then a video yesterday they said they just got a moving permit to move a home or something. But still, there's that little guy that paid for his house 2 years ago, and they're still telling him they're waiting on the permits to move his house. Paid in full, people. They don't give a crap about him. They done got his money. They don't care if he gets his home or not. We'll have to do a follow-up on that. Anyway, they're posting a video about their little country store they're going to provide for the residents. And that's very nice. I mean, that's just great to have to make the community feel. But, you know, just keep in mind that if they don't like you, or if you say one bad thing about them, God forbid you have a leak or anything that you complain about, they will not renew your lease. So they're just controlling you over there. So if you don't mind being a little rat chasing after the ball or whatever, you go on and live on their properties. It's no picnic, boo-boo. It's not even worth a look in the picnic basket. They are living on top of a landfill in a parking lot, piled on top of each other. Now, I like communities like this, and I am 65, so I wouldn't mind being close to people and having the community feel. As a matter of fact, I was checking them out, which you'll see my story pretty soon. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is the little country store. They're making it out of an ace. It's a very large home. They have different floor plans, or they did, but I'm pretty sure you're going to have to pay extra for that now. A floor plan that they don't deem as different, you're going to have to pay for anything. You hear me? You don't get the double doors. You don't get the paint. You don't get appliances. You don't get nothing. Now, he's going to put, I'm hoping, some kind of appliances in this store. It's going to be like a community center is what it is, you know, where they can go and have dinners or whatever. There is a kitchen cabinet in there. But what else is in there is all the walls and things are covered in rust, as you can see by the pictures I'm providing in this video. And Randy tells you these were the old panels, so they'll be able to build this for virtually nothing, which is what they pretty much build most of their little panel homes for, about nothing. But they're doing you a favor and selling it for several $1,000s. Well, they're a business. They've got to make money, right? Sure. So anyway, you see the panels on the inside and out. They're covered in rust. So what they're going to do, being the honorable people that they are, is they're making this for the residents, but they're going to pull it up there pretty much like it is. Well, they're finishing up the bathrooms. And then the residents are going to have to go and clean it and paint it and decorate it how they want, which is good and bad. But when they're saying stuff like, you know, the knobs on the cabinets, we know people want to pick their own. That's just their way of saying, we're too cheap to throw that in, so we're going to screw you out of some knobs. You know, well, you can put a railing in if you need to, but we're not going to give you one because we don't give a rat's ass if you fall or not. You know, they don't care. If they can cut corners, they're cutting them, baby. They're a business. They want to make money. I get that. They just have to do it legally. Are they? Watch my videos and you tell me. And I am constantly in contact with people in Cook County to get updates on what's going on here. So I want to talk about the panels. They've got rust on them, as you see. They're going to shove this up here. If you want to see what a good job they do, just watch their videos, because they pat themselves on the back constantly, or maybe get somebody and ask them to say good things on video. People just don't say good things for no reason. No, they don't. Not on their videos. And then there's the people that aren't allowed to talk because they make them sign the contracts, the non-disclosure contracts. You can't say nothing bad about us. If anybody ever asks you to sign that, that means they're sketchy. They're covering up something. Well, we don't want people to know we're screwing people over, elderly people, and taking their money and giving them homes with rust and mold on them. Okay, so this is my concern, and it should be everyone's concern. That's very nice. You're giving them a community center. Great. I'll give you props for that. Good job. It would have been real nice if you finished it, painted it, got all the rust and mold off of it. But hey, we know you're cheap, And you ain't going to do it without somebody giving you some money. Because that's what you're all about, taking every penny you can from somebody and giving them what you think is a good product. Okay, so my first question is, so the tenants, the people that live there, are going to be painting the outside or whatever. They said they were going to give them the wood and all the supplies they needed to finish it, whether they want to put shiplap on it, if they want to put anything on it. First of all, is someone instructing them how to get the rust off? Okay, so this is my question. Is this safe? And they've already said their key target group is elderly women. No, you're not actually elderly, if you start in your 50s, in the 50s up, and elderly and older couples. So these are the people that would be high risk for like COVID and things. They're going to put them in there to scrub this rust and mold off. We're doing you a favor, guys. Think of all the fun you're going to have in it. Yeah, okay. Is it going to be fun when they get mold or get sick from it? So that's my question. Is it safe to live in a steel paneled home covered in rust? And it is not. It is not safe to live in a steel panel home covered in rust. This is a sign of structural damage. Rust indicates that steel has weakened, compromising the building's integrity and potentially leading to collapse over time. It also creates health risks related to mold and tetanus, along with other problems like leaks. Okay, so the structural support, weakened support. Rust literally consumes the steel, which can lead to weakened support beams, walls, and the roof. This can cause the building to deform, sag, or even fail completely, particularly during severe weather. Okay, so every little panel garbage home they build, and they said today they're making this home for practically nothing. That's why they're not finishing it. If it's going to cost them a couple bucks, they're not going to do it. So this is why if you look at some of my videos, you see people have complained with the electrical system. That is dangerous. Failing, and you've seen the pictures of that. That was jacked up. And one of their employees say, hey, they don't get their stuff inspected. It looks like they didn't, or that would not have happened. But one of their employees said they often have to send people out to repair roofs that are leaking. So it looks like these panels are leaking. I'm pretty sure that Incredible Tiny Homes don't give people some paperwork that tells them things that could happen as a result of the steel panels. They're not going to do that because you might not want to endanger your health like they would endanger health. So that's the weakened support, and we've seen that happening with their homes. Randy said this stuff they're building the community center out of, it was headed to the landfill, and it's been laying around for years. That's why there's rust on it. And rust ain't no big deal, but it is a big deal. Okay, so component failure. In a steel-framed house, the rust could be located on load-bearing components like columns or beams. If these fail, parts of the entire building could collapse. Well, with their little trash houses, and that's what they are, made out of trash. Not that I'm against recycling, I am, but you shouldn't endanger people's lives or their health to make a buck. So, leaks. Rust often creates holes in the metal, which can cause leaks in the roof or siding. This allows moisture to get inside the home, which can damage insulation and interior finishes. Well, they don't give you a very long warranty period. I see where people have said they get 30 days, but I thought I heard them say they get 90 days. But this is why. So when you call in 6 months and say, hey, my roof's leaking like a bad dog, what are they going to tell you? You've had the house too long now. You've had it 6 months. That's when you need to get your lawyer and sue their asses. Yeah, because they did not. If they don't make you aware of health risks and potential hazards in your home as a use of these panels, then they got them a problem. And I heard Randy saying, and I don't know what he was bitching about, but he saw they're always bitching about something if things don't go their way and you don't fall for their nonsense. He's like, I'm not going to sit around and have a lawyer tell me what I can say and what I can do. And I thought, that's right, you don't, because his own lawyer told the Planning Commission that she agrees that they need to be compliant and follow the laws just like everybody else, considering the rules and regulations for subdivisions. So, you know, they're anyway. So what it does now, other hazards, electrical problems. That's right, it's listed on Google. I got a feeling Amanda and Randy don't even know how to spell Google. Is that Google? In some cases, rust affecting electrical components can create conductive paths that cause electrical fires. Do they put these warnings on their homes? Should they be required to? Yes, they should. Decreased property value. The aesthetic damage from significant rust devalues the property. You know how Randy, they're both Andys, saying you can take it and resell it and make a bunch of money. People ain't wanting to buy them as they are. Well, I mean, people are buying them because they believe that these are great little homes. And I hope that they are for most people, for their sakes. But so what you should do if your panels, you see some rust that they didn't get off or something, because rust on steel panels can signal severe and dangerous problems. You should not assume that the structure is sound. The extent on the issue can only be determined through a professional assessment. Hire a structural engineer or qualified building inspector. These professionals can perform a thorough inspection to evaluate the extent of the rust damage and determine if the home is safe. They can use tools like thickness gauges to check the corrosion levels. Do you think Incredible Tiny Homes done this? If they do it, they put it on film. They videotape it because they want all the attention they can get, because they're trying to get you to pay for something that they don't even have built yet. And you see how they're putting all these other projects in front of people's homes, people that are waiting for their home. Yeah, that's what they do. That once they get your money, you can kiss it goodbye. Document the damage. Take photos of all visible rust spots, paying close attention to the areas like fasteners, panel edges, and seams. Address moisture problems. Since rust is caused by moisture exposure, you'll need to identify and repair any leaks, as well as ensure proper drainage away from the home's foundation. Do not attempt DIY structural repairs. Fixing significant rust damage on home structure is not a DIY job. You need an experienced professional to treat the corrosion and make sure repairs are done correctly to restore structural integrity. Okay, so do they have a building inspector check their homes, especially the panel homes? They need to do some videos of those gauge detectors going in them. Come on, kids, let's see what you're made of. Show us you're looking out for the people you're selling this crap to. So now they're going to roll it up wherever Spencer is, and you know they're half-assing Buffalo Creek and whatever else they got going on. People aren't even supposed to be living on Buffalo Creek or the mountain. I read just another article just 2 days ago about how somebody that lived there found out they weren't even supposed to be living there. I don't know how he did. I didn't read into it because they have many complaints and things going against them. The health risks, of course, are mold and tetanus. Mold, consistent moisture from leaks, can create a damp environment inside the walls, which is an ideal condition for mold or mildew to grow. Tetanus. While rust itself doesn't cause tetanus, the bacteria that do thrive in the same damp outdoor environments where rust forms. A puncture wound from a piece of rust damaged material could put you at risk of infection. Okay, so what are some other hazards? As we said, electrical problems. Rust affecting electrical components can create the conductive paths that cause electrical fires. And we see the pictures of the wiring that has just gone buck wild and decreased property value. Okay. So, are they going to hire a structural engineer? Hell no. A qualified building inspector. They have those little ANSI stickers. I don't know if that's I forget. I'd have to look at my notes. I tell you who does need to pay them a visit, and that's OSHA. They proudly show how they don't provide anything protective they make jokes about it. Amanda walks in with her flip-flops. Amanda, you're just an OSHA violation waiting to happen. She really is. Wearing flip-flops in a construction area? Sure is. Gee, I hope somebody don't report them to OSHA. I was an OSHA officer for like 5 years. But, mine was in the medical field. I had to do all the teaching, all the TB test, everything. And I know a lot about OSHA. And know a lot of people at OSHA. Anyway, so my concern, of course, is the people that are going to be scrubbing this rust off. Are they going to be provided with gloves, with masks and all that? Maybe they will if somebody tells them about this video. Now, there are things that they can do while they're storing these panels. Metal panels come with many rust-resistant coating options, but missteps during storage or installation can leave you with unwanted problems. So, Google does say metal buildings can be safe to live in. However, they should be designed and built as a home and properly insulated. I know they do spray foam insulation in their panels. Are they spraying it on top of rust and stuff? How are they going to prove to you that they're not? I would be asking for some documentation. They should be glad that I decided not to buy from them, because I would have put them through the ringer with showing me documentation on everything they said, because people are shelling out their life savings for these little trash houses. And thank goodness some people are doing fine in them, but there are many, many, many complaints, and they're not even following codes, regulations. No. Show me the paperwork. Show me the paperwork. It does say that like metal buildings that are designed as garages are not airtight and not designed for use as a home. I know a lot of people do that too. They just set up shop in a little metal building. There's lots of things about rust on panels and precautions you need to take. The number one thing they need to do is they need to print off this whole Google page and have people they're selling their little trash homes to sign it, that they are very well aware of everything health-wise and just structural-wise can go on with their homes. And it looks like that they have. I'm going to do some more videos on this rust and stuff. They acted like it was such a not a big deal. I really didn't think it was a big deal. But all you got to do is giggle. They do that. All you got to do is Google, are rusty metal panels safe to build a house out of, to live in? And it'll give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. They can be, but there has to be a lot of steps taken to make them perfectly safe. And I can promise you that Randy Jones is not going to be putting out the extra money to make sure these homes are safe for the elderly people they put in them. I mean, let's face it. You sell a home to someone who's 80 or something, by the time they pass away, people's not going to be asking, well, let's do some blood tests. Let's see if they had poisoning from rust or any what exactly is their cause of death, and let's check out their home. I want to see a video with those gauges that gauges how much rust is through the panel, because that's where your structural damage is going to come from. They can wipe it off the outside all they want, and that's no easy task. These people need to have gloves on, masks, and need to be supervised by somebody. Randy's really good at getting other people to do his work that he benefits from. So, you see that in almost everything that they do. Just like their little workshop that they were going to do. We're going to do a workshop, show you all how to build a tiny home. You can come in here and build your own tiny home. He's talking to two little old ladies. And what are they saying? Well, I'd like to learn how to put a shelf up. Well, we're going to show you how the water comes in. We're going to show you how to put these floors down. We're going to show you and let you build your own tiny house. We want to put a shelf up. You know, and Randy doesn't listen. That's because he goes off half-cocked, and his little workshop, which they've already done before to have people build their homes. So they're getting elderly people to build their homes for them, and then they're going to charge for the class. Now, I called about this class, and nobody had signed up, and they didn't even know what the fee was going to be. Well, we really haven't said that anything. We decided that. Really? You go on a video and say, yeah, call us. Go to our website. We're getting it together. So you can't even tell people what you're going to charge them to build a house for you. That's the Randy Jones way. You do the work, and I'll take the paycheck. And that's what he's doing with these little classes. Gonna make people pay to build the houses for him. As soon as I saw that, I thought, do nobody look at their videos like a legal person and help them? Because it just seems like common sense would be kicking in. But I don't think they have any. I don't think they have any. But you know, there are people that are perfectly happy with their homes. They're older people, and they probably don't know any different, and haven't been told any different. And if they're doing fine with their houses, that's great. But if you're one of the ones that you gave them $40,000 and it's been 2 years and they're still telling you we don't have the permits yet, they need to be giving you your money back. But oh no, that's one of their big things. You don't get the money back once we get it. I don't care what happens to you. Yeah, they're a stand-up company for sure. Anyway, I would not. People need to start checking out their homes, looking around all their screws and stuff, and seeing if there's rust. Because if you've got rust, you can sue their butts off. Have at it. That's a wrap for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.